Hey y'all,
Hey,
I'm Ebony,
and I'm Shakora.
and welcome to the Unapologetically Us podcast, where we talk about life, mental health, fitness, finances, and everything in between. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
That's right. Welcome back. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button or that follow us if you're listening to us on audio for more episodes that we drop every single Friday.
Okay.
Cause we only miss one Friday.
Once since we started.
Yep.
We did.
We only miss one Friday.
And I think that was the week we was in Alabama, huh? At Ariel House, or the week before that or something.
I think we had one to go out that weekend. We didn't have one to go out the next weekend.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I knew it was around.
Because we wasn't gonna have time to record to get one out for that next week. But it was around like Thanksgiving-ish between that time.
But we've been every weekend it's strong. No exceptions.
No exceptions. We might have had video and no audio, or audio and no video.
But here we are.
We'll talk about that in a later episode.
Yes, we will.
But let's get into our first segment, child. Listen. So you want to start today? What's been going on with you? What you want to talk about?
Yes. So.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, when people bring us wine or offer us wine, we like to shout them out. And so if you have not watched my sister's episode,
go back and
watch it. But once you watch it, you will know on her episode we did not have wine. I'm not going to tell you what we had. Go back and watch it.
Go back.
But she also bought us wine to have for a later episode. And she brought us some bread and butter rosé. Don't know where she got it from. But we're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try it
so
on camera for y'all.
We're gonna rate it because we love a good wine now. And it looks good. I poured it and it smells great. So, my husband would say we gotta.
Oh,
I don't know what that do.
Swirl it around.
But we're gonna swirl it. And then we're gonna taste it.
Swirl it around. Swirl.
Wait, what they be saying?
It's a little more on the tart side for me, but I can deal with it.
It smells good. It is a little tart. It's a little tarter than the ones we typically have because we like sweet. Mm-hmm. But I will drink it for sure.
I can deal with it. It gives me like Taylor Port almost. Mm-hmm. Like Taylor Port is not sweet. This is probably a little more smoother than Taylor Port.
Yes.
But how Taylor Port is not sweet, but I can stomach Taylor Port. Mm-hmm. Same with this. It's not sweet, but I can deal with it.
I can drink it. Taste a little good.
Anyway, child, listen. Let's get into what you want to talk about.
Thanks,
today.
girl. Even though you're sitting on the beach somewhere, but okay.
At the time we're recording, she's definitely on the beach.
She's on the beach somewhere.
We just talked to her, having a drink at the pool.
It's okay.
She just walked out of her room and walked in.
I'm back. Goals, expectations, the things that I want to do in life. Anyway, child, listen. So, I want to come on here and encourage myself. Encourage yourself. Okay.
Speak over yourself. I'm gonna be singing for real one day. Don't sleep.
Sorry, my girl.
Don't sleep.
But no, of course, I have a vision. You hear Ebony talking about how much of overachievers we are, and it's not intentional. It's literally just who we are. It's so crazy. That's probably why we just such good friends. But wanting or holding, I want to say holding myself accountable again, but I always hold myself accountable. But just trying to motivate, speak over myself, right? To put more of my content out. Like, I didn't even realize how much people look forward to it. And so I'll have a day where I put out something mental health, I put out something fitness, or I put something out that's a mental health quote attached to me in the gym. But people look for that, and I didn't realize how much. And which made me feel good, you know. And I think I get so wrapped up in the numbers that you see, views, or oh man, that only got 270 views. Like when I'm gonna go viral, you know what I mean? And you not realizing how much you could have helped those people, those 270 something people who did. So that person, those people that are watching you getting a consistent number, that means the same people are watching you and they're looking forward to this. So just motivating myself to continue to put that content out and know that it is enough. And that's all, folks. Drop mic.
Understandable. Cause that's me with the podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like we can have a guest come on and our views on YouTube go up, and then we can have another one, and I'm like, nobody's watching this one. But
Bump y'all.
but at the same time too, or feeling like, dang, we didn't do enough to keep them wanting to come back. Mm-hmm. But at the same time too, telling myself that they may not come back and watch next week, but they probably gonna come back and watch. Mm-hmm. And then two, think about the people that you only went and watched the episode because this particular person was on there, and then you didn't really go back and watch. Mm-hmm. You know,
or they talked about something that resonated or set in with you, and you went and watched that episode, and then you never look back at it.
And never look back at it. So, but then sometimes you go back and dip in, you know, if you have the time to watch it. So, yeah, same with you. Like, people watching it and then people watching it and ain't watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have to keep myself and hold myself, like you said, speak over yourself, so that I don't get discouraged and imposter syndrome sit in, because clearly it's chasing me. Like, leave me alone. Get off of me. But it sets in so quick when you have these thoughts about wanting to do something, and then it's like, oh, do I have what it takes to do it? Can I do it? Do I have enough to do it? Do I have enough knowledge to do it? Should I just wait? Should I get certified in this first? Should I? And it's like, you have what you need, do it. Mm-hmm. You have what you need. Shakur, you have what you need, do it. Mm-hmm. Right? So, yeah. All right. I digress.
Well, for me, I am okay. Dance. For me, I think for the most part, just hitting points in my career or within my business where it's like I want to elevate, and some of those, sometimes I have those feelings of God trying to pull more out of me in it. Because it's like, okay, how long you gonna stagger in this line, or are you getting safe over here? You getting comfortable over here? Like, and anybody that knows with entrepreneurship, it's a risk. You taking a lot of risk, and so just what does expansion and elevation looks like for me? Because if I don't want to be in my working full time for somebody all my life, then I have to put myself in position to expand. And what does expansion look like? What does time management until I can level off and take off? You know, expansion puts more time on me, puts more things on me to do. With the already hectic schedule, I'm wondering how can I do both? But then I just, with my financial business, my bartending business, I felt a little discouraged at one point because I hadn't been anywhere. But at the same time, too, I'm like, Ibn, you're thinking about, I ain't really post nothing. And then, two, I'm struggling with signature drinks. And so I got two names. I'm stuck on this third one. And I've been stuck on that one for a long time. But even with that, like, what do I see my business as the mobile bartending? Is my vision still the same? Is the vision that I have matching up with the vision that God has for this business and whatnot? And so, yeah, So just figuring out what does expansion look like for me as far as time management, and then just for as like the direction to head into. And other than that, the regular degular, working out, backs is dipping and all those things, and just trying to get this stomach together, and that's about it.
That's good. That's good.
So, today's topic, backstory. You gotta give a backstory to every topic.
Backstory to every topic.
So, I was at a place, I'm not gonna say where. There was a baby that came around. And, everybody is, oh my gosh, just swooning over the baby, as people, would do. So the comment was made to me. They were like, yeah, so now we're waiting on you. And so I proceed to raise my left hand and move, I'm making the motion on camera. But if you watching, I'm moving my hand up and down. And I'm like, ooh, baby, this hand is light.
Right.
I need some weight over here before I be talking about having somebody's child. And so, we're laughing it off. And it was like, yeah, but you ain't getting no younger. Before we continue that part of the conversation, because that kind of leads to other things in the conversation. I just want people, men, women, whatever you choose to identify as, to get out of people's uterus. You don't know what my circumstances is. You don't know what my body is dealing with. You don't know if I have a medical condition. And as far as I know, thank God, I don't have one. From my last checkup, I am straight or whatever. But even though I don't have anything medical, mentally, do you understand where I am? Mm-hmm. And to tell me, as somebody that loves children, like Montreal said on his episode, Ebony has always been motherly. Mm-hmm. I love babies. I love children. Would love to have some of my own. When we had our episode where we talked about was it expectations or something, and I literally said, if you would have told me in high school that I would be 32 with any children, I would have laughed at you, because I'm like, I'm not going to be in what my mind was telling me that old to have children. So you don't know mentally where that could put me at. Mm-hmm. So, and then too, I am a woman who wants to do it, what some people may say, the right way. Mm-hmm. Not knocking, people that had children before or whatever. And, if that becomes my thing, then it just becomes my thing. But if I can help it, and there are precautions in place to where I am helping that, I would rather be in a committed marriage before I had, not relationship, a committed marriage before I bring a child into this world, and I have my reasons for doing so.
Absolutely.
Telling me that I'm not getting any younger
does not help.
And then too, telling, not just even from a baby standpoint, but from a marriage standpoint. Because I am 32. 33 is around the corner. You don't think that the fact that I'm not married yet plays on somebody's mental? Mm-hmm. Like, thoughts before I keep going? Because you ain't said anything.
Oh, I was just letting you go. Just gonna let her go and get it all out real quick. But I agree. I think people don't understand, and especially as someone who has a kid, So I didn't so much of get the, what are you waiting for? But once I got older and in a relationship, not a marriage, it was, okay, y'all not having kids? And I'm like, I slipped up before the very first time. So can I get my footing? And of course, anybody that knows me personally, they know that I was like, okay, this one, you got me. She here. It's done. But never again will there be another person that walks this earth that can say, I have a child for her without being married, without being my husband. You was going to have to marry me. And I think just being in the field that I am in, I hear it a lot. So I understand that pain. But, or not even pain, but that frustration. Because we hear people joking a lot, when they see babies, they be like, oh, my uterus, da da da. And you typically find most parents saying like, when I'm gonna get a grandbaby, and then people struggling with those things mentally. Like, I can't even count how many women that sit in that chair across from me and they're like, my mama asked me one more time for a grandbaby, but she ain't asking for a husband. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't want that same generational curse. Like, I'm trying to wait, and if waiting means I'm 40 years old, then that's just what that means. And so, yeah, I think that it plays on mental health so bad. Then, again, like I just said, that imposter syndrome sets in, self-doubt sets in. Well, am I? Should I not wait? Sis, you got to do what's best for you. But I'm with you on that. Can you leave my uterus alone, please? Can you let it be mine?
Yeah. And then even taking it, I'm 32. My mom's about to be 62. My dad is 66, so he's approaching 70. And I told my mom in a conversation that me and her were having that, I do want to be able to give them grandchildren that they can enjoy while they can enjoy them. To where they're too old and then the only thing you can do is just bounce the baby on your knee. Like,
right.
Be able to enjoy being, whatever my mom choose to call, want her grandchildren to call her, and whatever my dad, I think he was Pawpaw. So you go and enjoy Pawpaw while Pawpaw can enjoy you. Or whatever. And I said, and that, stuff like that plays in your mind because it's not so much of me and it's, when you get older, it's more difficult, whatever. But there are things that I want for my parents to have. Yeah. And so, which takes me to this next thing that in the conversation where, so, I'm like, okay, I'm laughing it off. And I'm like, I said, plus my mom is close to retirement. She can watch my child. And the person proceeds to say, your mom already raised her children.
Because my mama. You know what she want. You know what she gonna want to do and what she not gonna want to do. You know her better than me.
So I said, oh no, my mom, if I call her, she's coming.
Yeah.
And I'm telling my mom this, and she was like, she don't know me. I'm like, no, she don't. Because my mom, when it comes to her children, my mom knows her children. My mom knows me. My mom knows my sister. My mom knows my brother. Enough to know the last thing that we're going to do is take advantage of her. Meaning, if I call my mom to come watch my child or children, my mom's going to come because, one, she's a grandparent, and my mom loves kids just as much as I do. But for two, she knows we're not going to take advantage. I'm not calling her every weekend. I'm not calling her whatever. Even if she watches my child or children while me and my husband go to work, my mom knows she's taken care of. Whether it's compensation, because of course that's first. This is your time. What's your rate? I'm going to pay you for this. If she refused to take my money, then just know, if I bring them, if you come to my house, whatever up in here is yours. Matter of fact, what do you need me to get? I'm going to pick it up for you. if I'm bringing my children to you, whether you use it, she uses it or not. I'm bringing my children with clothes. I'm bringing my children with the snacks that they like, all of it or whatever. And I'm even sliding little stuff up in there for you because you're watching my child. So I'm like, I know my mom enough to know that's what she would do. Yeah. My mom would probably love to watch. I ain't gonna say probably. She would love to watch my children while me and my husband go out of town for an anniversary trip or whatever, or we having date night, and I move my mom closer to me so she can be my primary babysitter while me and my husband go out on a date night. So not only are you in my uterus, you in my business, telling me what my mama ain't gonna do. Like you even know her name.
The audacity of people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get sometimes, because my mom's like, well, maybe Ebony, she didn't mean it in, mean no harm in the we waiting on you come in, you ain't getting no older. And I said, and I'm pretty sure she didn't either. But there are too many podcasts, too many real clips coming out now where women are saying, just be cautious with what you say to women when it comes to why they don't have children.
Right. Absolutely. And I think, kind of going back to that, maybe she didn't mean this or that. But how do you tell, outside of your family, your mama or whatever, how do you tell somebody, well, you ain't getting younger. You're not my friend. You're like, what made you comfortable to tell me that I'm not getting younger? Clearly, because we don't age backwards. We age forward. So I know that much. But I do, like you said, there's so much information going out. But I'm thinking like, well, maybe she, in the terms of your mom, wouldn't want to raise, because grandparents now aren't grandparents that they were before. And so not knowing if this what she meant or what, but I know grandparents aren't grandparents like they were before. Grandparents, they trying to live their best lives. They going on vacation just as much as I want to go on vacation. They all of a sudden have McDonald's money and all of that and all of this extra stuff when
we was growing up, we didn't have that.
You got McDonald's money? But now you got McDonald's, hibachi, sushi, freaking crab, shrimp, all types of money. So we got different grandmothers. But again, you don't know me enough to know what type of mother or grandmother I have. I think that people do have to be more mindful, especially when you in somebody else's uterus. Come on now. I don't think that people carry it as lightly as they should because it's not their situation.
Yep.
So, it's not a struggle for me to have kids, so I don't put it on the forefront of my mind when I'm saying something. So I may say something that is harmful to someone else when I didn't mean to be hurtful or harmful, but I'm saying that because I'm not being intentional with my words, because every woman is different. You may have a woman who can have a baby like that, and then you may have another one who got to struggle and go through bed rest and different IVF and all of that. They got to go through all of that. Not saying that they're less than or anything, but if it's not your struggle, you don't immediately think about it, and we need to start thinking about those things. Whether she married or not, because I might be married, like our goal was to be married and then have kids, but somebody else may be like, I'm not trying to be married, but I do want a kid. So I have to be mindful when I say, nobody, I wasn't, girl, why you trying to have that baby without being married? Because this is what this, and that may be her goal. So I got to be intentional and know the person that I'm speaking with before I step on anybody's toes, because then I'm coming off as rude, disrespectful, like, girl, who you think you are, because I done said something out of ignorance, not knowing who you are and what your goals and aspirations are.
And Google is free. Meaning, when I say about Google is free in the fact that I know the older I get, the harder pregnancy could be on me. I've heard people that have said I got pregnant in my 20s and got pregnant again in my 30s, and it was completely different. My body did things that at 30 that my body couldn't, I mean at 20 that my body couldn't do at 30. That the laboring was different in my 20s and in my 30s. Or whatever. As somebody who's never labored before, I don't have that comparison. But as somebody who, what would crush me is not being able to naturally have a child. Telling me that I'm not getting any younger is not going to make me just be like, well, you're right, And if I do it, I'm going, well, you're right, because I want to slap the shit out of you right now.
Right. Well, you're right. Guess I should go get on that.
Let me go hop on the thing right now. Matter of fact, when am I ovulating so I can increase my chances? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me, because that is a fear of mine. Like, to the point where, like, I pray every night, Lord, you know the desires of my heart. And that's looping in the children, looping in having a child.
Absolutely.
So if you're telling me that I'm not getting any younger, girl, I know how old I am.
I live this life. That's true. It's a very sad in the world that we live in that we have to tell people to get out of our uterus. Like, whether it's friends, family, mama, daddy, sister, brother, grandma, whoever. And I, again, don't feel like it's any ill will toward it, but we have to be more intentional about the things that we say. Like, even, off camera, Ebony was telling me, well, I know how, you feel about having another kid. First of all, I'm scared as hell. We just say that. The whole world can know that I am scared. Babe, I work, one, because it's been 12 years since I had a baby. And then two, I work so hard for this body. I don't want to share it. But also, on the other hand, wanting a kid, wanting a baby, wanting to have a baby with my husband. And it's a scary sacrifice that has to be made. But you also don't want to hear, girl, all right, it's been a year. When y'all having a baby? Thank you. I if I wasn't feeling pressure, I definitely feel it now. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know.
Or that whole, well, Jay 12, so you starting all the way over at this point.
Do I not know that she 12? Did I not have birth to her 12 years ago? And I know that I will be starting all the way over. Don't tell me that.
And then too, like when I said about the whole your plan. No, this was not in my plan. I'm pretty sure most people's plan is not to have their children that many years apart.
But the crazy thing about it is I am fine with it. People be like, oh, my kids, they close together. Not me. I'm not trying to buy cars. I'm not. The lifestyle that I want to provide to my child as she's in college, I don't want to have to do it double time. Or I don't want to have to be supporting my college student and making sure that she has the things that she needs because I'm breaking generational curses, okay? So how I plan to set my daughter up, I don't want to have to be worrying about prom and buying cars and licenses and all of that. No. So I'm fine with it. I understand that I'm starting over and it will be okay. But I would much rather not buy 2 cars 4 years apart.
Right. With, knowing you are cool with that. I'm saying for the people who may not know that you are cool with it.
Right, true.
That could be a trigger for you into saying, now you're going to have them this far apart or whatever. And then in your mind, you like, well, I'm good because that way I got a babysitter at this point.
But what if I was not?
That's what I'm saying.
What if I was not, then you're now putting more self-doubt. You're putting more confusion on my shoulders. And again, that goes back to why I said we have to be intentional with the weight that we're putting on our family members, the weight that we're putting on our loved ones, with the weight that we're putting on our friends, because you just don't know. You know, I can remember one of my friends asking me, well, friend, where's your fear? Where's the fear? What are you scared of? Well, thank you. You can ask me that, because now you not just saying, oh, you need to, it's been a year. You ain't trying to have no baby. You know, you're not just saying that. You're asking me, well, do you? What's going on? Are you scared? Is there anything that, you know, we should know about? Because we don't want to be putting more weight on you that you need to be, you know, that need to be had. So you can say it that way. That's being intentional about asking a question. But then too, knowing that whatever it is, I can support you.
And again, like, I understand it doesn't come from a place of where you're trying to be, you know, offensive or hurtful towards somebody. But like I said, I just feel like there's a lot of women now who are coming out and saying, hey, asking a woman when she's having a child, or, you know, you ain't getting no younger, or you married, or you this or whatever, is not the best thing to do, because you don't know where that woman stands mentally. You don't know what she's battling with, whether it's health wise, whether it's mental wise, you know, like things, even if it's not pressure that somebody's putting on her, pressure she's putting on herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the example of Jay, and, you know, let's say you got pregnant today or had a baby today, it'll be 12 years apart. But we don't know what that could trigger if you felt the way about that. That could lead to regret, which could lead to a lot of more other things like depression and anxiety and all these other things, and you harboring on this decision that you made, or whatever, or this the fact that you have a child, and this in your life didn't go the way you thought it was going to go. And not just with children, period. Sometimes you deal with life not going the way you want it to go. But sometimes for women, especially women who want to have children, if you didn't have children in the manner that you thought, and my therapist told me when I was in therapy one time that sometimes you're dying to think, like you have to mourn certain things, not like mourning. Kind of like mourning when somebody dies. Like, you have to, there's a grief that comes with that.
Yeah.
So when you are at this point in your life didn't go the direction that you wanted to go, where you're 32, 35, 40, whatever, and you're not married and don't have children, there's a grief process that has to happen, because you're dying to what you thought was coming.
Yep.
So when you bring certain things up, you're opening, especially the uterus stuff though, you're bringing up wounds that either that person is currently trying to heal or have healed.
And you never know.
So it's just best to just
Mind
leave it
your
alone.
own business.
Just get out of people's
Yeah.
stuff. And then you have women who have no desire to want to have children.
Absolutely.
And then those who have desires who don't want to have children, then you're looking at them crazy, because they like, well, why you don't want to have kids? Well, that's their choice. They don't want to. And they're putting things in place to where they don't have to have children if they don't want to.
Yep.
You know, like, I feel for those women who struggle with infertility issues, because I feel like them be the ones that get it the most and take it the most, because infertility issues, for as a woman, from what I would hear from women who have gone through it, they all have said, I felt like I failed myself. I felt like if they're married, I felt like I failed my husband. I felt like I'm not doing the duties that God put me on this earth to do. Which one of them was to get with a man and be fruitful and multiply. And here I am with all these things, and I'm not able to have a child. If I had premarital sex, is God punishing me for having premarital sex? And is that why I can't produce this child with my husband?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that, it goes deep.
Yeah.
Which is just leave people
Business alone. You know, and again, I don't think sometimes people are, you know, mean ill wills or have an ill will, but I don't think all the time or most of the time it's, with any ill intentions behind it. But that doesn't matter, because even though my intent wasn't to hurt you, you still could have. So it's important to tread lightly as you bring up, if you decide to, because I just recommend you don't. If you don't know, then don't ask. I know they say no question is stupid, but sometimes it is. Like, I think that I can deem that one as a stupid question. Like, don't ask a woman about her uterus. You have your own. And if you don't have your own, you can find you a woman that do. So that you're not putting people in difficult situations, or you just went on a shelf of trauma and pulled a card that they wasn't even ready to go over, to unpack, to process. So mind your business. Just mind your business.
Mind your business.
Just mind your business.
Yeah. That's all I got to say. I think I've spoke my piece as far as how I feel about that particular. Oh, and like I said, we're talking to my mom. She was like, my mom, thankfully, is not in my uterus.
Right.
And maybe because I have been vocal with like how I've been feeling about certain things, as far as, not being able to have children. And so my mom is not praying that I have children. My mom's praying I have a husband.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she knows, well, if I get the husband, then I get the grandkids. Yeah. Whatever. And just leaving it at that or whatever. And then too, with me telling her, hey, I want to be able to give you that while you can enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Or hell, while you still here. You know what I'm saying? So, just leave people uterus alone.
Stay out of my uterus, please.
And feel free to comment below, your thoughts on how you feel, if you agree with what we're saying, or, or if you have an experience you want to share. We do go look at the comments too. And, when we, if it's something you want to say and it requires our feedback, we'll give that. We have no problem with that. If you have any questions or podcast suggestions, feel free to email us at unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com. While you're at it, follow our Instagram page at unapologeticallyuspod. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate us on all podcast platforms. Thanks, Sasha, for the wine.
We appreciate it.
Yep. I'm glad this is the last episode, too, because I don't think I would be able to do another one. All minds clear?
All minds clear.
We will see you guys next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.